Well, good morning. We are on our way to Portland, Indiana to check out a K building that was built in 2022 through our dealer A1 Ag in Fort Recovery, Ohio. This particular building is a 90 by 120 with an 18-foot sidewall. It has a 30 by 45 little bump out on the end wall, but some of the other neat little features of this building is it has a 44 or 45 foot hydraulic door in the end wall. It's got a couple of other door openings in it as well. 2 foot on center girts. And a lot of times people will choose a 2 foot on center girt because of the bat insulation that they're likely going to be using in the building. By going to a 2 foot on center girt, you can use standard sizes of bat insulation that are readily available in the lumberyard. And it makes the installation of the insulation a lot easier process as well. And another benefit to that 2 foot on center girt is it increases the wind load capacity of the building. It makes it a stronger building. But that 30 by 45 bump out on the end wall, that's home to a cistern that he has buried underground inside the building, and he's collecting all the rainwater coming off his building and is repurposing that. Now that is an option that we don't typically see going into a K building, so I'm anxious to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to the building owner. We're going to have an opportunity to see what was his decision-making process when he chose the various options on his K building, and we'll find out now that he's had some time to work out of the building to see how it's working out for him, and maybe even see if there's anything that he may want to have done differently now that he's into the building. Anybody who's ever built a building has that feeling and is asked that question. Is there anything that you would do differently now that it's all said and done? So we'll be sure to talk to him about that. But hey, it's just fun for me getting out on the road, going and seeing some of these finished buildings. So oftentimes I'll see them in drawings and I'll work with the dealers and get everything arranged and done and shipped. But it's just a special treat for me then to be out here on a day like today. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be lower 70s, plenty of sunshine, no chance of rain here the rest of the day. So it's just a great day to be out here and doing this, and we want to bring you along with us. So together, let's head to Portland, Indiana, and let's check out this new K building. We're with Troy, the owner of this building. Once again, it's a 90 by 120, 18-foot sidewalls, and we also have a little bump out on the end wall here that's a 30 by 45. And Troy, first off, thank you very much for choosing the K building. And what was it about the K building that you liked the most?
I think I like the clear span structure on a wood structure. I didn't like the idea on a wood structure. And then I got some extra height out of it on the inside. Yeah, I guess, when you start getting into a 90-foot wide building, a wood structure is kind of difficult. Yes. Yep.
So how long had you been planning this before you finally decided on the K?
It was probably 3 years, probably.
It takes a while, doesn't it?
Yep. And then COVID hit, and I pushed it back further because of the prices, and I finally just caved.
Said, what the heck, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Let's take a walk around here, if we can, and tell me a little bit about some of the ideas of this shop and what you've been doing with it.
Well, I needed both a shop to work in. Yeah, my old shop, it was just a little shop. Everything was done out in the gravel. It more or less just held all my tools. It was just about a 15 by 25 area, and so I worked out in the gravel, and I needed a shop that I could actually work in, but I also needed some storage space. So that's where I come up with the size. And I kind of got a well outside the door here that I kind of had to work around also. And then I went ahead and I just added that 30 by 45 just so I could put all my tools and everything over there and have this more of an open area.
It's interesting when you talk to people who have farm shops. It's one of those things where they can't ever build it big enough because there's always stuff that occupies the floor space.
Yep.
And so what you've done here with some of the shelving that you've got here to get stuff off the floor and that extra bonus area you've got here, that 30 by 45, does give you all the floor space you need in this farm shop to do whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah, and that's where I come up with this area over here. I got a pit. The pit there, I put it so when we're actually working on something that's not real huge, we could kind of consolidate it over here and we could still get in and out with the rest of it. But yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the 90-foot wide, you got an 18-foot sidewall and the 312 pitch in the roof. Why, you've got a lot of space here, and I see you've got a big piece of equipment sitting right here right now that you're going to get ready to be working on.
Yep.
How nice is that to be able to come in and get things
It is.
spread
It was
out?
nice. I actually unfolded it last night out on the barnyard there, and I didn't even have to fold it up to pull it in.
Boy, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Got a place for everything. Now, one of the other interesting features that you have here is your hydraulic door. You've got a 44-foot
44 by 16, yes.
hydraulic door there, and that's a higher power door. I believe that's a
Yes.
Michigan-based company, and that's a very nice door.
It is. It's a very simple door.
And you installed that yourself then?
Yes, more or less, yeah. Me and the guys with A1 Ag Services. Yeah.
So who built the building? Did A1 build the building?
A1 Ag put the building up.
Okay.
I did everything through them except for the electric. Other than that, yeah, they did pretty much most of it.
That gives you a lot of space to bring stuff in and out.
It does. Yeah, it's very nice.
The windows in it also make a huge difference. And one of the things that we see with hydraulic doors is, the action of the door, the way they swing out. You want to make sure there's no cars or anything in the front of that. And by putting a couple of windows in the door, gives you the opportunity to take a quick peek out there before you hit the button to open it.
Yep.
Now, the higher power, as you were pointing out to me a little while ago, is a little bit different door. I know that Elgin Service Center, we do manufacture the power lift door, but this higher power door is a little bit different in the action. And can you speak to that a little bit? And what's...
Well, it's got the track up top there, and that door will actually come up about 8-10 inches straight up before it starts swinging out. And at the same time when it's swinging out, it's coming back into the building. So obviously with a 16-foot door, you're going to have a 16-foot radius. A regular one would swing out to where this one, I think you can come within about 8-9 feet of that door and it's going to clear you. Yeah.
A 16-foot door, you can come within 8 or 9 feet of it.
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Well, if you're not exactly right, you're pretty close.
Yeah. All I know is it's not 16.
Yeah. Well, again, that makes the utility side of this building a lot different, you know. When you have something that wide, we all know the equipment's not getting any smaller.
Yeah.
And so that's going to serve you well for quite a long time. Well, let's talk about another element that you've got in this building, because I look around here and I see so many things. And right there is your service bay, your service pit there where you can pull your equipment in. What size is that overhead door?
That overhead door, I believe, is 18 wide, 16 tall.
Once again, there's that 16 foot. You can pull anything in that you got.
Yep, and 18 wide. I can't remember exactly why I made it 18. I know most everything will pull in that door. And then you can pull it right up over the pit. Semis, you could probably still pull in the big door here. But yeah.
That's going to be very nice to be able to get down there, do whatever kind of service work you need, and just make quick work of it.
The other thing with that also is I got a ditch machine. You can drop the wheel down in there when you got to work on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everything's not so high when you work on it then.
Yeah. When you are getting close, now the time frame of all this, you took delivery of the building. Well, it's what right now it is April of 23. You took delivery of the building when?
I think it was in November.
Okay.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it does.
We did the concrete in the end of August, I believe it was.
Perfect timing there.
Yeah.
Then A1 came in, erected the entire building, and then you started doing you pulled all the conduit, you did the electric.
I put the conduit up so far and the lights, and the electrician has to just finish up the wiring and such. And I got a little bit of plumbing left to do, but.
Walking over in this area, this is that 30 by 45 area that kind of a bonus area here for you. With the loft up there, to again get all your stuff off the floor,
Yeah.
the stuff that you're not using regularly, you can put up there. You've got an office back in
Yep.
here then, where you guys can all congregate. But the most impressive part, the most interesting part of this room, you don't even see.
Nope.
What's going on with that?
So under half of this, I believe it's 16 by 45, is a cistern, 8 feet deep. Reason I put that in is just for spraying crops and being able to rinse off equipment and stuff. But I would say the main reason was just so I can use that water to spray crops.
So you're collecting the water from where?
The roof water.
So everything on this building
Everything
is
on this building goes in.
directed into that
Yeah.
cistern then.
Yep. Yeah. And I think it's roughly 34,000 gallon, I think.
When we were talking about this and the design side of that with A1 and they were talking about this cistern, this entire area was an area that was of particular interest to us. Yeah, it worked out very, very well.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how everything turned out.
Right here, we can see a great big steel
Yeah.
tube. What is that going to be for?
So I had the idea of wanting a hoist, and I saw a different farmer that made one on his own, and I looked at it, and I thought, well, there's no reason I can't do that. So I positioned it so that I can swing it all the way over to the big door. It'll swing over the service pit, and it'll swing all the way back over to this side door. And that's why I positioned it where it is. And I'm hoping to be able to get about a 14-foot I-beam coming off of that. And yeah,
So what's the diameter of that tube?
that was 20 inches. It's 3/8 wall.
And you
And
got
it's-
it down into the ground how far?
It's in the ground about 7 feet. I think we put 7 or 8 yards of concrete down there. And then when I get it all said and done, I'm going to fill it up with concrete then.
It'll be a concrete tube then to do
Yep.
whatever it is you want. And that's just for general work, motor work, anything heavy that needs a
Yeah.
crane, that's going to be your
Yep.
spot for that.
Yep.
What a great idea.
Hopefully.
Your design here is a great one.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to do different in this building now? You took it in November, they erected it, but you just literally got in here a couple of weeks ago, so maybe that's an unfair question.
Not that I can think of offhand. I mean, I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. And as soon as I get the rest of the electric done, I'll be tickled pink, I guess.
You'll be in like Flynn at that point.
Yeah.
Well, Troy, again, I appreciate your business. I appreciate the ideas that you went in, and I appreciate you letting us come in here today and film it, take a peek at what you've got here, despite the fact that you're 99% done. But just letting us come in and see your shop, and I just can't thank you enough for that, and really appreciate it.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're here with Ryan at A1 Ag. Brian, you were the project manager on this job. You were the one that oversaw everything going together. Is that my understanding? Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So we were talking with Troy, and he said this building was delivered about November. When did you guys get started on putting this building together?
Shortly thereafter.
Okay. So you're right through the winter months. The foundation was in by the end of fall, and so it was sitting here waiting for the building to arrive, and then once it came, then you were able to go up with it from there. How long did it take you to put the main building, the red iron, up?
Couple of days.
Yeah. So you got a 90 by 120 foot building, 18 foot tall to the eave, plus that 30 by 45, and so you got all the red iron up and standing at 2-3 days in.
Correct.
That's, and you and I talked at one point, and I'm going to give a little secret here to everybody, because you and I talked. It was at that point you called me because there was some storms coming in. Give me your thoughts there. What were you thinking when that was coming?
I'm glad we have a steel mainframe and it can withstand a lot of adverse condition.
Yeah, because at that point when the storms came in, you were expecting high winds and rain and whatever else, but you had the red iron up, you had the wind bracing in, you had a little bit of lumber up in the roof, and that's where you were at with it.
Correct.
Yeah, if it was any other kind of building other than an all steel or a hybrid building like a K, if it was post frame, you'd be a little nervous.
Absolutely.
At a 90 foot wide building.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so any hiccups on this building to speak of, or did it all kind of come together?
Came together really nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, and I can't thank you guys enough. I think the design of this building is unique in a lot of different ways. I'm certainly glad to be out here and talking to it, and I thank you, Ryan, and the job that you did at A1.
And it's always great working with you, Doug.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, well, there you go. That was a well thought out building, I would say. I mean, from the 2-foot girts to the cistern that he had, to the loft that got everything off, the shop floor, even the self-supporting crane. Now, the crane thing is something that we do get questions about. People will often ask, you know, if it's a metal steel building, can I just put a hoist, a lift, a crane or something right to the building's mainframe? And of course, you know, my standard answer to that is let the building be the building. It's designed to do what it needs to do, let alone the point loads that are created from a crane. So what Troy had done there was absolutely perfect in having a standalone crane. And of course, then that cistern, 34,000 gallons of rainwater off the roof, free water to be able to do whatever he wants. Not a bad idea, but what do you guys think? Is that cistern a good idea? Is the crane an idea? The service pit we do see quite a bit, but still, that is just very handy for all of those maintenance jobs on pieces of equipment, and there's always service work that needs done. So, but yeah, anyhow, thank you for coming along today with us, checking out that building. We'll be checking out more buildings throughout the summer, so stay with us on our channel. Like our channel, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff, and you'll get notifications when new videos are coming out. But do leave us a couple messages. Give us your thoughts on this building. What you liked, what you didn't like. I'd love to hear your comments. So, hey, have a great day, everybody.